Welcome to the CACOON in the Open Door podcast series. Well, there's a lot of good material here you just discussed.
Yeah.
Being afraid of failure, fears. You know what? I honestly, you think, are you scared? You know what? Yeah, because I don't talk that much about all this stuff. I do, just not in this framework. And I guess I'm like, wait a minute. Now I'm starting to think about what I'm saying. Is this irresponsible? Should we not have a conversation? Am I going to fail?
Irresponsible?
Okay, this is therapy. I think you're right. Why?
What is irresponsible?
Is that just code for fear?
I think so. I think it's fear of I don't know. I still think that I have this block. I don't want to say block, but yes, maybe it is a block about talking about this stuff because somehow I guess it makes it not just real, but maybe that time is over. I don't know. Or really talking about Jonathan, it's like I feel like I'm doing something wrong, as I shouldn't be talking about this, as I'm being derogatory. If I say something negative, there's always these things that happen in my life. If I say them, then they're going to get mad. And then this family member could get mad. And then this person's going to get mad. And then no one's going to like me. And then it ties back into when I was a kid, feeling abandoned, feeling completely abandoned. And, why people don't come out. And I'm going to say this, out in anything. As I was like, I'm coming out of the visionary closet. Why don't really say what I'm really doing? Because people, what are you talking about? That's weird. Spirituality or this is odd. Or how could you be that? I don't understand. How could you do all these things? How can you sing and dance and create all stuff? I just don't understand it. Or, sexuality things or, just anything. And so there's a fear of just being yourself. It's like none of us, and I say none of us, I'm not saying that that's not the case, but it feels like we really can't be ourselves because somehow it will be ridiculed by someone. And it doesn't matter if it's just one person, we're thinking in our mind. That thought is the thought that's, keeps you in fear. And I'm watching myself going, oh my God. I have not been nervous about doing a podcast, but now all of a sudden we talk and I'm like, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
We have that effect on
my
you.
heart just got, maybe so. That's why last time we were together, you're like, I think you're a hypochondriac. Which,
but are you afraid of the podcast? Are you afraid of not being able to censor what one of us might say about your past? Is that what you're nervous about?
I think I just don't talk about it and the perceptions of what people, I still think it's tied up with business, my life in business. I mean, okay, let's put it this way. People right now, most people since I came back to Portland in the business world, if you want to call it that, they're like, you're a singer? They haven't seen me sing. My people who are musicians, and artists are like, what's this thing? What's this CACOON? What? I don't, oh, Michael, what's going on? What's happening? How come you don't have, how come you're not working?
Right.
In my family, of course. And then, of course, there's personal things that I haven't shared any of this stuff in this, in these ways with people because I just haven't, except for people who I talk to on a regular basis. And then, you talk about family, that's a whole nother thing. We all know that, you start talking about that and people do, they get scared for you. What is he going to say? What does that mean? How does that perceive, how's that going to be perceived upon me?
But usually other people's judgments are their fears, things that they can't do. They don't want to see you do them because, they're afraid to do them. So they're afraid for you to do them. Yeah. So they put that back on you.
It's really no different than Ainsley being afraid to get on stage. Yeah. It's called vulnerability. Yeah. It's exposing yourselves to people's judgments, and you have to get past that and have the strength in yourself to know it doesn't matter what other people think.
And if we want to talk about judgments, we could go back to the keg when we met and you pacing the floor, acting like a praying cat, looking at me like,
wait a minute.
Should I approach him? Should I not approach him?
Is that what I did? Because
so you went and talked to everybody else about that little video you were doing, and finally you came up and went, you're gay, right?
I'm I'm also white. So
And
since
white.
the audience has been declared,
And you have red hair.
You've been listening to the Open Door podcast series. The Open Door is part of the CACOON, the creative action centers of online open source networks. Tune in weekly, where we share ideas on consciousness, health, and creativity. Together, we are taking action where the 99% transform into the 100%.